and it's January 22nd. Let's take a look at some headlines. I'll let you know how I feel about it. These are like my initial reactions. All right, so we're looking at the New York Times right now. First headline: federal workers told to inform on colleagues trying to dodge DEI crackdown. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been talking about this. P25's a big piece was to get rid of any kind of protection or equality for people, right? So DEI, of course, was going to be on the chopping block. Now, this idea of federal workers being told that they need to tell on people, it's very reminiscent of, I'm thinking of Germany at a certain period of time where your friends and neighbors were turning you in. But even with that, though, federal workers, they're going to get hit the absolute hardest at first. And based off of everything in P25 and off of all of his executive orders from his first administration, it's only going to get worse for the federal workers. So that was definitely one of my top 5 concerns if Mr. Trump got elected, was that the federal employees were going to take a hit, and they are. Yeah, let's keep moving on. We've got the bishop who pleaded with Trump. Was anyone going to say anything? So the bishop during a prayer service was like, have mercy, because that's what bishops do. I guess Trump wasn't very happy about that, but freedom of speech, literally freedom of speech, and voluntarily went to this place where the bishop was speaking. So that wasn't required by law. So there's no violations there. Get over it. Next one. Far-right leaders granted clemency by Trump, expressed desire for retribution. Yeah, we also knew that was going to come too. He's going to, of course, pardon all of his buddies and friends that have any kind of federal criminal case going or looking like it might go. And of course there are retributions. Mr. Trump has already put out an executive order revoking security clearance for a couple dozen people that he literally named in the executive order. So yeah, they're going to be going for the people that they don't like that gave them any opposition. Again, we knew this was going to happen, so nothing new here. New fire rains ash and closes an interstate highway north of LA. Yeah, fires are still going. Heart goes out to you there, Los Angeles, California. Next up, Trump embraces the trappings of a perceived throne. Restored to power, he's claiming God put him there and asserted the right to single-handedly redraw the world map. Wow. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, if anyone reads the Bible, the Christian Bible, like, we're not supposed to be worshiping idols, and the kings and the government actors of the world are sinners, right? So read the Bible, dude. You're not supposed to be sitting on a throne. Next up, here is how Trump moved to seal the southern border. There's a lot of things going on in the southern border, but we knew there would be, and he did a lot of stuff during his first administration. So this isn't surprising either. I would not be surprised to start hearing cases about families being separated and children in cages again. We're going to be reliving that. Next up, Senate Democrats block GOP effort to criminalize some abortion providers. All right, there you go. That's something. What are sanctuary cities? This is controversial also, where we have cities and states with their own independent government based off of federalism, right? So the federal government's not supposed to be infringing on those state rights, but they're saying, we're going to be a sanctuary city. We don't agree with the law, or we don't agree with the directive that's coming at us. And so, we're going to help the people out if we want to help them out, if that's what our community wants to do. So yeah, what's the worst that can happen? Those cities can have funds pulled federally from them. They can also have certain people enter into their city to kind of try to take over the authority of the local police and law enforcement there. But that's not really legal either under how everything is written regarding our military and the separation of powers. So I don't know. You can kind of kick that one around, but if you want to be a sanctuary city, go for it. But acknowledging that there's going to be some retribution that goes hand in hand with that. And we knew that was coming. All right, next up, more cold ahead as the South slowly digs out from snowfall. Yep, it's cold, people. It's cold. Get that dustpan out to use as your temporary shovel. I know it's not easy. All right, we've got Middle East. Gaza family returned home only to find a pile of rubble. Yeah, and there's been some really disturbing comments Mr. Trump has been making about what to do with that rubble, but that's just the kind of person he is. Next, we've got why is Israel targeting Jenin in the West Bank? Now, I'm not diving into Middle East politics. I had to take a step back from that a while ago, so I don't know all the deets on that. We'll keep going here. 2 dead, including gunman in Nashville high school shooting, police say. So that's awful. Lonely at the top inside one of New York's elite private restaurants. Well, it may get even lonelier because the price of food is starting to skyrocket and starting to have a huge impact on restaurants, and that's just within a few days. All right, moving off of the New York Times, let's check out some headlines. At another place, a rare insight shared on Donald Trump's son, Barron Trump. I don't care about Barron. We left him alone, hopefully, during that first time. We'll leave him alone again. I really got nothing to say about Barron. The best and worst looks from the 2025 inaugural balls, because that's really important. Trump orders government not to infringe on American speech, calls for censorship investigation. So you can order the government all you want, but, we have laws here. You can't just say, well, you are my puppet now. We're not puppets, we're people. If there are laws that are being broken or rules that are being not abided by, then we have a protocol and procedure that we follow. But you can't just go in and be like, well, you got to do everything I tell you now or else you're going to get fired. Like, all of us have to do that all the time. We have to do what our bosses tell us or we're going to get fired. But that doesn't mean those fundamental rights given to us by the Constitution no longer exist. So, order away, dude, but we still have to acknowledge that their First Amendment freedom of speech is set out by law, the Constitution, through Supreme Court decisions. It's not set out by the president. The president doesn't have that kind of authority. And if you read the Constitution, you would know that. And let's see, influencer 45 dies after going under general anesthesia for back tattoo. Ugh, we don't like to hear that. Nearly 3 million people can't get over what this mom found in her 12-year-old son's locker. That's worrisome. I don't want to go into that. Let's see what else we have. Here are all of former President Biden's executive orders that President Trump has already rescinded. And we'll kind of leave it at this note. I would encourage everyone to go to the Federal Register and take a look at the executive orders from all of the presidents. Because one thing you will see is that whomever came into office after the last president, if they are not part of the same party, they do that. They just revoke all of the executive orders that they're like, man, we don't want that. We don't want that. So it's constant revocation. This isn't the first time and it won't be the last time. So Mr. Trump coming in and revoking all of Biden's executive orders, yeah, not surprising. Absolutely not surprising. And then whoever comes in office after Mr. Trump, all of his will get revoked as well. So it just keeps going back and forth and back and forth. So there you go. Quick overview on the headlines for today. Nothing particularly worrisome or troublesome in my opinion. And we knew all of this was coming. I'll catch you up tomorrow on the headlights.